Hello and welcome to the third annual Hyzer for Hopes.
Presented by Hope Outdoors, where volunteers share Christ's love by taking our friends with special needs to the lake shores, game trails, turkey blinds, boats, and deer stands that they couldn't reach before.
I'm Philip Tate.
And I'm Josh Hollingsworth.
All right, together we are
Tatersworth Commentary.
And let's get right at it. You got Chris Downey, Chad Sherbert, always doing a good little slow-mo. Oh yeah, your man himself, Mr. Hollywood, Josh Hollingsworth. Looking like a stud. What's he looking at there?
I try.
Oh, I see you, Josh. I see you. And lastly, we got Cameron Blaine Roberts, semi-local, out of Mississippi.
Another fellow tomahawker.
We're going to see a lot of that today, so let's get right at it. We're going to take a preview of this hole.
Yeah, so hole one's 375 feet, kind of straight ahead, par 3. Got a little fall off deep and right of the basket, and OB probably 50 feet behind the basket, but you really don't have to worry about that unless you really pump one.
That's right. Well, we're going to start off with Chris Downey. He's going to take the traditional route, show us what the Hyzer is about.
And that's kind of going to be his friend today, throwing those overstable discs. It was super windy and wet out today, as you saw a splashdown when the disc hit there.
I have a feeling you're going to see a lot of splashdowns today, Josh.
Yeah, it was not a very pretty day for disc golf, but a fun day anyway.
All right, another good friend of mine, Mr. Chad Sherbert, out of the Jackson area, Mississippi. He's been winning a lot of tournaments lately, and he's on a roll.
He gave a little run there. He's probably 30 feet left of the basket.
All right, and my boy Josh Hollingsworth sitting next to me, showing you how it's done, spiking into the ground and not going anywhere from there.
That's right. Just get it close.
Another fellow tomahawk partner of yours, Mr. Roberts. He's got a long cannon on him, and I'm not sure who really has the longest tomahawk, but you might find out today who can really sling it.
We throw a lot of ideas off each other, and we throw different discs, kind of do different things with the disc in the air, but we try to get the same result.
Absolutely. As you see him just barely miss there, he should have an easy shot to clean up for par.
Here's Chad with a comebacker from behind the basket. A little low, but his first hole, he'll clean that up.
Right, it's that first hole jitters. He's on a featured card, so every time you get on card, you always got to try to show out, but it doesn't always happen right off the bat. As you see, Josh clean up a sweet, sweet birdie there.
Good catch by the basket, honestly.
That's right. The T2s can do it every now and then.
And here's Downey for a 2 from about 12 feet.
I hope you didn't doubt it. He's got what it takes to make those putts.
So 2 birdies on the first hole, and then we got 2 cleanups for par, and we'll be moving on here shortly. This CHATOM course is only about an hour north of Mobile, but it is beautiful.
Oh, yeah, absolutely great park, great layout. The terrain is up and down. You'll see a lot of different types of shots at this course for sure.
Definitely. A lot of elevation that we don't have in other places in the area.
All right, we got hole 2.
Yeah, hole 2, it's a sharp hyzer to the left, 248 feet with a little uphill at the end. Everything you see left of that sidewalk, those woods, is out of bounds. So you really kind of have to push this on a hyzer and hope it crashes into the hill.
Right, and if you go long, is that sidewalk out of bounds as well?
That's right.
All right, so you want to actually have a good placement shot. You don't want to go too deep on this hole, which you really can do easy. As you see, the hyzer around the corner, if you take it too wide, it will leave you just too high of the basket.
Yeah, it's a tough shot for 248 feet. You can also cut the corner like this. That wasn't really how the hole was laid out, but in my mind it was.
Over the top and straight to the basket. That's the way you do it.
It gave me about 40 feet from the basket.
All right. You're going to watch Chad here. I think he's going to take a more traditional route over the top with a spike hyzer. He's going to be coming in right at the basket, catches a tree. And, that's about all you can ask for.
Yeah, that's more or less what you want. You want something stalling near the basket instead of pushing on hyzer the whole way past it.
All right. As we watch Roberts up here in the air. Oh! As he almost hits the basket.
Almost a slam dunk on hole 2.
From my perspective, that was crazy to watch. I know from y'all's side you didn't see that, but man, I was counting it in. It was looking good.
Yeah, we had no idea. This basket's completely blind from the tee.
All right, we got a couple more here putts for birdie.
It's hole 2. It happens.
Yeah, he wanted it. He gave enough height just off the basket. He'll be able to clean up for par. As you see Chad cleaning there for a nice, sweet birdie. He missed it on the first hole. Got it on the second hole. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah, made his little adjustment. He's good to go.
Right.
Here's Chris with a comebacker for 3. And he cleans it up easily.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if he misses the first putt, it's a good chance that he's going to make the cleanup.
And Blaine still hadn't putted. I'm tapping in for my 3. He is literally under the basket.
Literally. I mean, he might as well have been in it. I mean, it was just so close.
That's the one where you tell your card mates don't bump your head.
Exactly. All right, we're going to watch him clean up, and we're going to move on to the next hole. As you see, Chris, he's -1. Chad's also 1. Josh 1. And Blaine is also 1. So we got a tie card here. Right as we're speaking, it's a tight battle. So let's see what happens as we move into hole 3.
Yeah, hole 3, downhill. It's a very short hole, 208 feet, but you can cook it long and run into the water.
100%. Yeah, that hole is very short and very touchy. You don't want to throw it low, and you don't want to throw it too high. So let's see what we got here. Chad's throwing a forehand here. It's an easy shot down the hill. It's pretty much safe as long as you don't throw it too flat.
Yeah, and I feel like going around these trees on that angle, it kind of helps your distance control.
Absolutely, yeah. If you throw it straight, the chances are you're going to sneak down into that marshy area. It's not quite out of bounds, but it is really nasty down there.
And Chris is showing us the other line, which is just a putter straight ahead. Just, try not to overcomplicate the hole, but looks like he hyzered out a little early.
Yep, he'll still be looking at the basket, maybe a touchy putt, but Chris is known for making those good shots. As we watch Josh,
we're just gonna move past that.
Well, I guess we're not gonna talk about it, but yeah, no, you don't want, like I was talking about, you don't want to throw it too low because it will cut off your shot to the basket.
Sure.
All right, Chris Downey here. This is for birdie. He's got a little bit of distance left, but let's see what he's got. All right, he pushed it a little far, but we'll see. We should see some good recovery from there as we see Chad Sherbert from about, say, 18 to 20 feet. Just off the rim, I mean.
Yeah, a little low. He did that on the first hole as well. Just kind of got to set his chin up, maybe set the nose of the putter up to make an adjustment for the rest of the round. And an uncharacteristic comeback miss from Downey. He usually always cleans those up.
Absolutely. I mean, this tournament was 2 weeks ago. This was before the City Mobile Championships. And if you've seen Downey on there, you know that he's got what it takes to make these putts. So it was just an error, and he'll move on and clean it up for the rest of the round.
And Blaine shows us how the two's done, as myself and Downey are going to make a 208-foot hole way more complicated than it needs to be.
Absolutely. No need to take big numbers on this hole. It's not the one you were looking probably to make a 4 on.
Definitely not.
All right, but we're moving on. As we see, we got Chris. He's at even out because of that bogey. Chad's still at 1, Josh even, and Blaine is now 2 down. So we're moving on to hole 4.
Yeah, hole 4 straight uphill. You want to throw something kind of straight at this basket, or maybe hyzering in barely, but avoid this bush. You've got a sidewalk that comes up really quick behind it, but the elevation change is huge on this hole.
Yeah, this is a fun hole to throw. I was able to get out there and play around before doing some video work for it, and this hole right here is probably one of the more fun ones. I like uphill shots because it allows you to run at the basket.
Sure.
You're gonna see
Chad's doing that just now.
Absolutely, yeah. I was gonna say you're gonna see a lot of these players just throw it right at the basket because it's right there. All right, we got Chris Downey.
He's gonna try to do the same thing Chad does.
I'm not sure,
a little bit more hyzer.
He does a putter, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think they both do, don't they? Or
yeah,
no?
I'm not sure if it exactly what he's throwing, but yeah, a putter's a good play. I prefer a mid to a fairway driver just because I don't have to throw it as hard, and I have a better chance of it hyzering at the basket as opposed to flying straight.
I prefer a tomahawk. Takes the hill out.
Oh, and what do we got? Did you just hit the basket?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
I was a little upset after the last
of course.
one.
We're getting a Nuke's Eatery flashback. First one of the round, so give it up to Josh Hollingsworth for that flashback as he bounces off the cage. Nice.
Those
job.
are the ones I like. You don't have to putt at.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I'd risk bumping my head over a long putt any day.
And Blaine making easy work of the two.
Yeah, he's real smooth. I mean, at first you're wondering if his angle's on, but every time it just floats into the basket and he gets birdie after birdie. So
Sure. Downey with the two as well. Maybe starting us off with a little star frame here, hopefully.
Yeah, somebody needs to donate some money so we can give it to charity.
Yeah, get some money to the kids.
That's right.
Chad with the easy cleanup, and then I'm going to drop in as well with my Firebird. And that's what we should have done on the last hole, but we cleaned it up here.
Absolutely. Yeah, speaking of giving to the kids, your newest sponsor, Tomahawk Disc, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so
Tomahawk Dies.
Tomahawk Dies. So what they're doing is they're the disc that he sells, he's collecting the money and he's giving it away to kids in schools that are in need for, not maybe necessarily in need, but who are wanting to learn the sport. As we move into hole 5, downhill.
About 300 feet.
300 feet downhill. You got the water behind the basket. You're going to see multiple different lines. You got your Hyzer line, you got a forehand flex, and you got what Blaine's going to do right here, which is insane.
I was about to say, the ceiling is kind of what makes this hole hard. As you're going downhill, you have to throw down. But Blaine takes all that out of question.
Yeah, he throws to the left there. He's going to be looking at about 28 to 30 feet for birdie.
Looks like Chad's going to try to take the wide Hyzer here, which is a good play. You just have to hit this initial gap and make sure that you're on Hyzer. You're doing really well. Looks like he threw that very well.
Perfectly down the hill. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better placement. If you asked me to walk the disc down there and put it somewhere, that's probably where I'd put it.
Downey on the same line. Looks like he came in a little earlier but gets the favorable skip. And that should be an easy 2.
Also looking at a great spot there.
So I go with the forehand flex just because I want to be a little different from the group. And I doink the tree. So maybe I do need to take their line.
And I mean, look, when you step up to the hole, I mean, the righty Hyzer is tight. So the fact that they made it through those gaps is one thing. But when I was looking at the hole, the forehand was the route that I saw that was the most open. But if you throw it too early, you'll hit a tree,
sure.
And that's what stops you. Other than that, you got Blaine here with a bomb too. He gets the flashback.
Showing you how to play the hole. You throw a tomahawk with 400 foot of power over 60 feet of trees, and then just tap in for birdie.
Right, that's it.
And 30 feet.
Yeah, and we want to thanks Nuke's Eatery for making this video possible. If you're ever in the area anywhere in, I guess, the southeast, you can find a Nuke's. Stop by and show them some love. All right, we got Chad here cleaning up the birdie.
Yeah, climbing the elevator. It looked like he was trying to make an adjustment and not aim at the cage like he had been on the last couple holes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So he's dialed it in per se, and looks like the putts are going in. So
yeah, Downey dead center as well, and then I've got to clean up here. My putt since hole 1 just hasn't felt right. Like the drop in on the last hole. You can see a little wobble out of my hand there. I'm just trying to make an adjustment and hit the middle of the basket.
All right, as we see the scores from hole 5, we got Chris at -2, Chad -3, Josh even, and Blaine at -4.
Yeah, and you want to be 3 or 4 under. Those first couple holes are pretty easy.
Right, absolutely. If you're not under par at this point, you're really you're thinking about it.
And to me, this is the easiest hole in the course, hole 6. Nice little touch forehand. You can bury it into the ground and have it skip and kind of die at the basket, which
right.
looks like Blaine is doing that right here.
Yeah, I feel like the ground play, if you're not trying to ace it, the ground play is the play, because if you hit it right there or coming around the corner, you're not going to go too far. The worst you're going to have is a 15-foot putt.
Sure, that upslope kind of kills the skip.
Right, and I feel like an overstable power driver like a fairway driver is a little too much, like a Firebird. I like to throw like a putter, harp.
Justice.
Yeah, something similar to that where it's slower and doesn't get as much ground action. So as you see Downey here throwing a Firebird, and he gets what is he throwing?
He threw a zone.
A zone. I'm sorry. He threw a little too inside and got the right fade, but
this is my lucid justice. This is, besides the tomahawk, this is what I'm most comfortable with, and I'm trying to count a birdie right here.
As we see him skip up. All right, that's what I'm talking about. You don't get a lot of skip. You're right by the basket, and the ground play is it worked.
Definitely.
All right, we got a good group of folks here walking the fairway as we watch Chris Downey here for 2. You can go ahead and count it. You knew he was going to make it.
Yeah, everybody's in the circle hoping to clean up with some clean putts right here and walk away with another star frame. Everyone else is within 8 feet. As Blaine's going to take his time, which can't blame him. That I've seen shorter putts missed.
Absolutely, yeah. Every putt counts, especially when you're playing against in the pro division. So.
And Chad doesn't have to take his time. He can just drop them.
Yeah, he's thinking about that was a good hole. All right, as we check out the scores from the previous hole, All right, moving into hole 7.
So this hole is a little bit more difficult than the last. You've got a couple different options. You can take a straight mid-range right up the middle. This hyzer to the right, as long as you hit the first gap, cleans it up for the rest of the hole. It's pretty open. Or you can take a wide forehand and fall down the hill. You have some woods that come up close behind the basket, and this hole measures in at about 260 feet.
Yeah, when you're standing on the tee box here, you think that the forehand is actually the route to go. From doing some video and playing a couple times, the outside route is pretty wide open once you beat the first tree. I mean, the forehand route definitely looks like it's there. It is a little more difficult in hindsight and perspective after watching these shots. So
great shot by Chad. He clipped that early limb, and it may have gave him a little speed control to settle down on the green.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. If you get it coming at that angle just right, the skip is going to be far enough outside of the pin to give you that full flare to the basket. As you see Downey doing the same thing.
And getting a roll.
He's just rolling and rolling. He gets behind a nasty shrub there. He should have a good look at the basket, though.
Yeah, I haven't thrown that hyzer line, but I may have to look at it. It's just a little nervy since you're throwing OB for part of the flight.
Mm-hmm. And with your flex forehand, I mean, you could even turn something on the outside and have it come back in. So.
Yeah, unless you clip a tree.
Well, we weren't talking about that. So, all right, as we see Josh here from about 45.
I'm just trying to bang one home, trying to get the confidence up. It's not been very high on the green today. Taking my time, giving it a run, and swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. But, I mean, you got to think, you were downhill 45 feet and with a lot of drop behind the basket. So, you have to be careful with those kind of putts.
Sure.
Yep.
Blaine from a tough lie off the cage. That's about all he could give right there. Then I'm going to come back for my 3 from about 15.
Yeah, deadly from that angle. It's just that confidence booster after missing a putt like that to come back and knock in that comeback 3. So good job on that. As we watch Chad here, he's from about 20 feet. Yeah, no problem. Chad's gonna knock it in. He hasn't any problem making those kind of putts yet. Downey, I mean, he had an unfortunate roll and was just stuck behind this branch. There was nothing. He moved probably 3 or 4 times to try to figure out a good angle, and there was. That was the best he came up with. Unfortunately, just short.
I hate when that happens, when you can't get your full extension on your height out front.
Yeah, no doubt, absolutely. I mean, when you're setting up the course and everything, you try to get as many things as you can off the fairway, but sometimes just natural OBs take place, and sometimes they're better for the course.
Sure.
It makes it a little tougher.
So hole 7, our first par 4. Danger right the whole way.
Danger left.
Yeah, danger left as well. You got OB water on your right. You've got what may as well be OB woods on your left because you're just going to pitch out if you're in there.
Absolutely, yeah. There's no getting out of that. I've looked at it from different angles, and it's nasty in there.
So Chad swinging it out over the water, and looks like he may check up on the hill, and he rolls down a little bit.
Great shot, yeah. Absolutely. You couldn't ask for a better spot besides being up on the sidewalk.
And this one doesn't look like it's all the way out over the water. With the tomahawk.
I don't even know what to say about that. I don't have that kind of arm. When I watch it, my shoulder pops out, so I don't know.
I feel like Blaine tries to do the same thing I do on this hole, and that's just cut the hole in 2. We can pump it out about 450, maybe a little further with our tomahawks, but all you need here is about 360, 370, and just do it twice.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's 2 accurate shots for the most players. If you got that 450, 500 distance, I mean, it really makes the hole a lot easier. For me, throwing a 350-foot shot and another 350-foot shot really makes it, it makes it a little more challenging. I'd prefer to have a 100-foot or less on my upshot, but I mean, on this kind of hole, you can only take what you can get. So.
I feel like a lot of people in this hole overcomplicate it as well, because as long as you're, Chad may be on the side of the hill, but he's got a open up shot. Some people try to swing it wide over the water and land on top to get good footing, and some people try to cut it off and get in the bottom and wind up in the woods. Just give yourself a chance and get somewhere in the open.
Yeah, but if you're looking for the max distance, the best spot, you have to swing it over the water. I mean, there's just no way around it. If you throw it short and solid off, you might have a fairway hit, but you're going to still be 400 from the pin and looking down this tight corridor between these power poles.
Blaine putting on a clinic with a Nuke OS, putting it in the circle, and then me doing the opposite, leaving it about 30 foot short.
Probably looking for a little bit more, but you're still looking at the basket as we watch them clean it in.
That T2.
Give it to them. Look at that. Yeah, they catch all day. That may have deserved a flashback, but we had to save it for another day there.
I'll forgive you this time.
Okay, good. Chad, a little obstructed, but pin high, he'll catch in the birdie.
You'll walk away with a 3 on this hole and hold your head high any day.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in my opinion, this hole could be a par 3, just shorten it up a little bit and make it a little bit tougher. But the par 4 is fun over the water because it makes you like shake and think about it the entire time. All right, we got Blaine cleaning up a birdie.
And that's about what you should get on this hole. 2 or 3 birdies and then, a par and walk away.
Right. Now, again, if you look at it right, you're in trouble. All right, as we come to the next par 4, hole 9.
Yes.
This one's a doozy.
Yeah, so another levee hole. I feel like on this one you want to land on top of the hill. This is kind of where you're going to want to bring the water into play a little bit more because you're going to need to go right with your second shot. And it kind of cuts the distance and allows you to see the basket. Par 4, about 750 feet. And Chad's going with a backhand Hyzer. Doesn't get it all the way out over the water, but it was a little low. And gets a terrible skip into the woods.
Right. I mean, that's 2 feet into the woods, and I'm telling you right now, you can't see anything from there. You're trapped.
Blaine showing us how it's done with a tomahawk over the head of the catch cam.
You know, I'm pretty impressed with my camera skills on this one because you really could not see the disc. I mean, I was zoomed in just enough to catch the flight, and I'm impressed for one with y'all's throws, and I'm impressed number 2 with the camera guy.
Oh, that's a cool angle right there.
I mean, look at this, and you get to see exactly the reaction of these discs. I mean, because for the most part, when you hit with the tomahawk angle, you're kind of certain where it's going to go, but sometimes you have this feeling, oh, I didn't hit the right angle, and it's going to roll off. Because, if you get nose, it rolls. But that shows you exactly the perfect roll, gets you the right side of the fairway, straight look at the basket. So.
And Downey checks up on the side of the woods. He's not in the worst spot, but he's definitely going to be blind at the basket. Chad's blind and obstructed. I think he's going to just chip out. Yeah, just to the top of the hill. He'll at least be able to attempt a save for par.
Right, and this shot's fun. Okay, this is one of the holes I would think would be a better par 3 as opposed to par 4, throwing it straight across the water like that. Because, I mean, the upshot's fun and all, but that shot across the water is really where it's at. It gives you the most intense feeling.
So I think when Jimmy was helping designing the course, he was laying this out as tomahawk, because that's what Blaine and I do.
Right. I think he asked you personally, hey, how should this hole go? And y'all said, yeah, just give it a good tomahawk line and we'll be fine.
If there's not a ceiling, you can guarantee Blaine and I are throwing an overhand at it.
Right, and it's fun to watch. I mean, people can hate all they want to, but in the end of the day, they're just mad because they can't do it. I'm one of those people, so I feel you.
Downey gave it a run. He was about 40 feet long of the basket. The wind was probably the highest right here that it was all around coming off that lake.
Yeah, I'm sure you can hear it. I tried to save some of the volume on the wind, but it was ripping. I mean, I felt for these guys, but at the same time, it was exciting to watch them battle through this wind, especially with great putts like that.
Chad said, what wind?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that sounded like it was a 0-mile-an-hour wind with a 5-foot putt for him. So, good job on him as we watch Josh.
And putting, and I don't agree very well, and you can see there.
No, that basket raised up 2 inches as you were putting. That had nothing to do with it.
I didn't notice it there, but yeah. So that would have been for my 3. This is a cleanup for a 4 from the same distance after rolling off the band. Wind running straight in my face, so you should make the adjustment and think it's going to raise it up, right?
No, there was a headwind that time. It was a headwind. So Josh is going to clean up for his bogey, and we're going to finish up this front 9. We're going to give y'all one more preview of the scores, and we want to thank y'all for watching this front 9. Stay tuned. Go ahead and hit that ding button for your notifications when the next round is going to appear. It should be
From
following
Tatorsworth Commentary, we'll see you on the next round.
See y'all.